All right. I think we're streaming now. Let me just make sure I can see myself in my stream. I don't know what that delay is. Okay, cool. So this is going to be a stream where we build the proof of concept of and possibly diving into the MVP of a floating knowledge base tool that you can sort of embed into your site just like you would something like Intercom, but it's just a knowledge base. And the pro here is that it's powered by Notion. So you can have non-technicals writing. You get a lot of functionality like embedding images, videos, disclosures, admonitions. Some people call them callouts, but admonition, docusaurus, they call it admonition. You know what I mean when you see it. This kind of thing. I'm on the right focus, the left focus. This is an admonition. All that functionality comes with Notion, so why rebuild it ourselves? So to get started here, I literally just pre-created a Create React app and installed Tailwind. And that's just because Create React app takes an annoying amount of time to start. And I just did Tailwind while I was at it, so you don't have to watch that. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. I'm sort of just going to play music in my headphones and turn down the microphone volume, and then we'll come back when things get interesting. All right, let's get started on that. So first, before we dive into that, let's talk a little bit about the notes I have. Thought through it a little bit. So proof of concept is just like a React app that, I don't know why it scrolled there, but a React app that has a button that can press to launch the window with an iframe in it. So if you want to see what I mean, this is my site for my startup Tangia. We have Intercom installed. You can see in the bottom right here, we have this button that launches the launcher. And we basically just want that. You sort of install it with a JS snippet. You copy the snippet, paste it into as HTML. We want to get that there. If you have the knowledge base set up, we don't have it set up because we run it on Notion. They have a resize window button. Maybe I'll add that in the proof of concept, maybe not. What else? We need to create a site for rendering the knowledge base. So taking the Notion that's underneath and making it an actual website. There's a fantastic package called React Notion X that has various levels of access to Notion. They have a Notion renderer, which is basically what this is. They sort of copy the style of Notion and just render it as a website for you. And we need to create that HTML script snippet that people can copy into their site. It'll bring in the React bundle, render the launcher and the window, and then also embed the proper iframe. So I guess we can add to we'll do some local hosty stuff for pulling in that snippet, and I'll manually write it for now. But beyond that, I think we can sort of just dive into it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull you can see I literally just ran the install stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead, switch over to full screen so you can see both of the windows that I'm working on. I'm gonna go ahead and start React. Hope that I don't need to install anything else right now, at least. This is gonna flip open this guy, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. I'm gonna turn down my mic so my keyboard's not as loud, because I mean, if you want to hear how loud my keyboard is, I'm not even looking at it. So I didn't even know if I was typing. But it's a pretty loud keyboard. So I'm gonna turn down my microphone volume a little bit. That's probably good. You can still hear me. I'll turn it up if I need to speak. I'll get the music going, and I'll sort of talk. You won't be able to hear the music because Mac has no native desktop audio routing. Okay, which is fine, I guess. But we'll kind of talk through what we need. So let's get started with it. I think the first thing we want to make is we want to get rid of the React stuff. We don't need any of this, right? Let's get this class out of here. In fact, we can get rid of all the given CSS. We don't need any of that. We're using Tailwind. Okay, let's just make sure that we can see what we're doing. Halo, that's fun. Okay, cool. So we got this in here. So what we need to do now is we need to make the launcher and the window. So in order to do that, we need to first make a launcher. Let's go ahead and make a, you know what, we don't care. This is going to be such a small, such a small code base, at least to start. Export default function. This is going to be a launcher, right? That's not how it works. We don't like that space. And then we just want to return something. I always love doing the fragment so stuff doesn't break. And let's just make sure this works. So let's get launcher in here. Cool. Okay, so we got the launcher in here. So what do we want? Well, we're going to need, I'll just bring it up here too. I got it on my other screen. So we need to create this button right here that manages some sort of state, and then that window. So let's get the button first. That's what the launcher is. So this is going to go ahead and be a div. Let's just go ahead and put some, we're going to need some properties too. We're going to need active. It's optional. Let's make a show optional, whether we want to sort of like hide it. And then we just want the on-click handler, right? This is a function. How do we do a function? Do I just... Okay. All right, so props are of type props. Cool, what do you mean? Uppercase props, obviously. All right, so the first thing we want is we want to go ahead and make that circle. So why are you mad about launcher? Because that should be optional. What? What do you mean? It goes there. Okay. All right, so the big question is, does this work? Let's say bottom 0 and then right 0. Yeah, okay, cool. So Tailwind set up and working. All right, so we want to make this, we want to make it a circle. So it's rounded full. And let's say the background color is, let's just make it a green for now. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I still want bottom, maybe like 2, right 2. We want to offset it. Oh, Jesus. You know, what does it sort of look like? Oh, it's way more than that on the Notion one. Let's do like 4. Ooh, 8. You never really know. That's too much. 6. We're praying there's a 6. Phenomenal. I want to make this a little bit bigger too. Do we have a 14? Cool. Okay. I want that in the middle. So I want this to be flex, and I want to wait. Yeah, we want to make it flex, and then we want to justify center, and then line middle, text center as well. Okay, what's the one place? Okay, so we need to open this guy up because we need to know how do we get him in there? You know what? What's place item center? Place items center? Got it. You never know. You never know. Okay, cool. So let's say, let's check on whether we're props.active. We're going to say if we're active, we're not, otherwise not active, right? Okay, cool. So let's just say active equals true. Cool. Okay, so we want some sort of on-click handler to change that. So let's say launcher active, set launcher active. We need use state. We're going to say false. We're going to say launcher active equals launcher active. Okay, cool. Now this is where that on-click handler comes in. So we need to set up an on-click handler for this div, right? I don't even know if a div is the right. Like, I'm a backend engineer. This is me just winging it. So on click handler, we want to trigger whatever the if props.onClick. I can already see that it's gonna yell at me when that doesn't exist. We want to run props.onClick, right? Okay, cool. So let's make sure that works. Let's set an on-click handler. Let's set, let's create a function called toggle launcher, right? And what this is going to do, function toggle launcher, it's not a class, and this is going to say set launcher active, not launcher active. Okay, we're also going to console log this so we know setting active to that. Okay, we're going to say on click equals, right, toggle launcher. Right, okay, cool. So now, okay, this pointer's lame, but it's active, it's not active, cool. So let's fix that immediately. Cursor, what is it? Pointer. There we go. All right, sounds good. Launcher's done for now. We can add an icon later and animate and stuff, not in a proof of concept. Next thing we need is the window. So this is where we're actually gonna embed the iframe. Export default function window, because this is JavaScript. We need a props. We're gonna make another props interface. What's this gonna have? This is gonna have show again. Speaking of, we should probably make this do some stuff based on whether we're shown. So let's actually throw this into one of these guys, and then we're gonna say props.shown. We specifically want to check if it's false. We want to say show is default true. So if we specifically check for whether it's false, then we can say we're hidden, otherwise nothing. So now if we go ahead and go into here, we could say show, probably show, not shown. Jump into here, say show equals false. Cool, true, it's there, or if we remove it, it's there. Great, awesome. Let's get rid of that console log because that's gonna be real annoying. So we want whether to show this window. I think that's really all we want out of here. Yeah, that's what we need. So let's do it super quickly. So we're gonna return, let's put in a fragment, and then let's say we want a div here. You know what? I'm confident in this div. We can get rid of a fragment. Same with this guy. Let's get rid of you. And we can go ahead and make that look a little nicer. Okay, so we want, let's always start with that. And what do we want here? We want something that looks like that. And I think there's an interesting trick here that I observed is that, look, as we make it smaller, you see the gap in the top here? We want to make sure that stays until some height, and then we get rid of it. So in order to do that, we need to probably do a CSS calculation. First, let's get something reasonable first. So height, I don't know. Start with like, let's say, what is it? Border fuchsia 500. Let's say rounded equals, what's like 12? That's 12. And then we need a width, of, we want absolute. We need to position it even more aggressively now. So let's say like bottom 12, right 12. Border solid, and then border 2. Where is it? We need to render it. Hey, there it is. Okay, so looks like we need bottom and right more aggressively. So what comes after 12? What about 16? 16 is not enough. What? 24 is too much. That's probably good. Oh, that's real good. Okay, now we can immediately see the problem here with how this behaves. You can see it's just sort of like shrinking, which we don't want. So we specifically want to run that height calculation, which means we got to introduce style because Tailwind does not do well when you do CSS calculations in the arbitrary stuff. Anytime you run a function like you're talking about a background, you're doing URL or you're doing calc, it's not reliable. So I'm gonna do this where we're gonna say calc 100%. Hold on. Also, the reason I know that that's what goes on is because I did this a little bit earlier. Where is the iframe? I know you do that. Iframe, here it is. Yeah, so we found that the height was using that sort of that calculation. I don't remember where exactly. Here it is. Okay, so they're doing calc 100% minus 104 pixels. So minus 104 px. Let's try that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, yeah. I think that's good. I think that looks really nice. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so there's a certain point where we want to get rid of it. So let's probably go ahead and introduce a max height and a min height. So what, let's say min height 256 px. Let's see how that feels reasonable, right? That feels reasonable. Let's get rid of that because that's not taking effect anymore. Our style is taking precedence over the class. We probably want a max height too. That doesn't look good. Isn't that supposed to be 44 rem? No, it's 11 rem. Okay. Let's do it in. Okay, well, hold on. We can say so 176 times 4, 712. 712 px. All right. Cool. So the resize button, we'll just want to adjust that max height because if we said, took it to 9 and then we took the width to something else, definitely not 12. That's how we'll introduce the button there. I think the only other thing we probably want to add in is whether we have props.show. If props.show, we want to go ahead and leave it as is. Otherwise, we want to say it's hidden. I think that seems pretty reasonable. So now we can go ahead and say the window show state is equal to launcher active, right? Okay, cool. So now, there we go. All right, we don't want to be able to highlight the launcher. Highlight. Okay, Tailwind prevent text highlight. User select none. That's what it is. All right, now we can't. Yeah. Awesome, looks good. Now let's go ahead and iframe it. Source to test. This has no restrictions. This looks how we want it to. So we can just use that. Let's style it a little bit because that looks like not good. What do we want? We got probably just cool. Okay. The corners. Can I put overflow hidden here? Hey, that looks pretty good. That looks quite good. One thing that's annoying is I know if you do navigations in here, it shares browser navigation history, which is minor detail. Okay. All right, so we can go ahead and get rid of this border now. And there we go. Let's add a drop shadow to it. Just to flex, right? Let's add a drop shadow to this. Let's say drop shadow. Come on. Medium. Where are we? Okay, it's got to be way more than that. XL. What? 2XL. 2XL. It's got to be like, like I'm here, dude. Is it just hello? Okay, well, maybe large is a little more crisp. It helps a little. What does it look like without it? Yeah, it helps add a little contrast for sure. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. Maybe let's add one to the launcher too. Say drop shadow. Large. Medium. Is there even a medium? Yeah, there is. Okay. It'll just add a little bit of contrast, especially when it's not necessarily a white page. It's a little blinding with the white page. All right, that looks... What time are we at? 21 minutes? Okay, cool. I think it should be wider. Let's make it wider. What do you have in terms of 120, 120? You gotta have something larger than that. All right. What do you want to say? 300? 500? PX? Okay, no. 300 PX? I don't know why I did that again. 400? 450? I think 450 is, no. 430. Money. Money. Okay, just to sanity check myself, what's 96? Because if that's 380, so yeah, 450, definitely larger. Definitely larger. That looks pretty good. I mean, if you look at what this looks like, you can see why we want to use this. It's got the light box. You know, let's say something with a lot of images here. That doesn't look super great. Let's look at this as a long tutorial with images. Light box will focus the image. There's a lot of good stuff. So, all right, now we want to go ahead and make the site that will render Notion. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and stop this guy. Make dir Notion renderer. Let's say floating KB Notion renderer. CD KB Notion renderer. What is npx create next app? That's what we want. Next is a lot faster in terms of this. So I'll tell it to run. Open up VS Code. All right. Be somewhat reasonable, please. Come on. This is where Go is better. Just Go mod init. Done. I don't have to install 100 packages. And even when I do, I already have them on my computer. Because I've done it before. All right. Yep, just installed 9,000 things. That's fine. Okay, and they also are sane enough to have a dev script instead. So, all right. I don't think we need to install Tailwind. Let's just see what we got here. All right. So we want to go ahead and rip this out. We'll need those later. This guy, this man, this mad lad. All right, let's see what we're doing here. It's over here. So we got the React app that you can press launch window, iframe in it. Not going to deal with resize. We're going to create the site for rendering. Not just stop scrolling Notion. Oh my God. Okay, so we do need to install something. We need to install React Notion X. So in order to do that, we want to go ahead and yarn install React Notion X. It also mentions something about styles. Okay. Oh, we need this Notion client too. Okay, so the render, so the get page and stuff, and then we pass the page into, I believe this record map is from, yeah, okay. Definitely from that. So we need these two things. All right, go get those. What do you mean? Because it's add. I know how to use Yarn. I swear. All right, let's get this out of here. And just get this running. Style, we don't need any of this. I'll leave the next page. Import in there. Do we have styles? Okay, well, how about no? And how about no? Cool. Okay. God, my laptop is chugging right now doing all this stuff. All right, let's see. So we should just have like, hey, looks good. All right, so the thing we want, they have an example here of a full featured example project. Okay, so we want to look at their pages. Do they have anything in the app? No, not that I care about it. Oh, yeah, we do need to do this. They did say about this. So we'll want to put that in here. Cool. Hopefully it's not yelling at me. Nice. Okay. Looks good, looks good. Then they have this index. It's this Notion page. They made that custom. Components, what does Notion page do? I probably want to rip so much of this out. Oh, it's not bad. Okay, let's go grab this guy. Just to be clear, this is like MIT licensed or something. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's call this Notion page.tsx. All right, let's paste all that in. We don't need that for now. I will ignore that for now. Let's you know what? We might want the tweet embed. Keep that functionality. Right, okay. We'll go ahead and add that real quick. I'll just get back to dev. Cool, okay. Any other issues? No? Cool. Okay. Preview images. We can explore that later. Social image. All right, that's fine. All right, we'll deal with this later. For now, I want to get a Notion page rendered. So let's see what we have on our pages. Index is just a Notion page. So we do need we need get server side props if we want to load anything. So we'll sort of simulate that. Export const get server side props. I don't know what goes into it. Export function get server side props. What goes into it? Props. Not that we really need anything now, but I'd just like to, okay, so they call it context. What is this? Is this a next context? Next page context? Is that what this is? Maybe. No, it's not. Maybe? Get server side props. TypeScript. Yeah, what is get servers? Okay, but what's the type? I don't know what the type is. Is there like a get server side props context? Okay, and this returns a get server side props. Cool. Okay, return. I imagine this has something called props in it. Maybe not. What? This returns a get server-side props. Oh, it's an async function. Export async function. Promise get server-side props. This is an absolute waste of time. Oh my gosh. Okay, do we have... All right, you may stop. Okay, and I know it returns props. I'm looking at the... You return props. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna want to give it... We want to give it all the Notion information, right? And we can do the rendering client side. So how do we do the Notion stuff? So Notion, what is Notion? Import Notion is libnotion. Why you got to do that? What is Notion? It's just a Notion API. New Notion API. Okay. Const Notion equals new Notion API. Cool. Okay. And then we need that record map, right? Notion.getPage. We need that page ID. Let me go get it on another screen here. I can go pull up our Notion. Should just be... Yeah, here it is. Okay. Is that correct? That's correct. Okay. So let's say the record map. Yeah. And probably should create an interface for it. We don't need to export it. Interface, props, record map. What is this? This is a, is a wait. Okay, this is an extended record map. Extended record map. Wow, okay. I think there's some Notion types or something that we needed to have. I think that's what it's called. Let's try it. Yarn add Notion. Okay, apparently I've done it before when making our knowledge base. So we need to import that. So import extended record map from Notion types. Right, this is mad. Let's get it out of here. All right. So let's like see what this looks like first of all. Okay. All right, I don't like this next page. All right, fine. That's all cool. So we need to just like do that render now, right? Where is it? No, go back. Go back. Full pages. Index. This guy. You already know where it is. Props.recordMap. Let's just comment those out for now and see what it looks like. Oh, that looks great. Hold on. I know there's a dark mode thing. Dark mode false. What? Hello? Why is there padding? Where is the padding coming from? Excuse me? Where's that padding coming from? What? Do I need to put the old stuff back in? Because that had padding. I remember that had padding 0. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good right now. Problem is if I go anywhere, 404. So we need to go ahead and add in a page ID.tsx. Ooh. Right? All right, cool. They had something like this. All right, let me let me just 1, 2. No, we don't need like so much of this. We don't need get static paths. We want the get static. We want the same interface, right? We want this guy. And then we want the get server side props, right? And then we want basically want this, right? Basically want this. Props, right? New Notion API, pull that in. Get server side props context from next types. Oh, well, can that come from just next? The more you know. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now, if I click on this, I need I need the actual thing that it was gonna do. Did I close it? Nice. Good move. I need this. This is what we need. This is new. Content. Ooh. First of all, I know it's page ID. Okay. Context.parent. How do I tell it to stop doing that? There we go. And then, yeah, we need that page ID. Oh, dear. Okay, hold on. That lowercase was not ideal. Okay. That's pretty good. That's some pretty good stuff there. All right. So we got this working. In theory, what would happen is during the get server side props, we would look at the subdomain and we would see that like, hey, we need to go pull a configuration. So let's do that really quickly. Next.js get, what do we have in context? Context dot, let's see, resolve. Let's actually do this. Oh my God. To null. To null. Wait, null too? Yeah. That looks good. Okay, get this guy back over here. All right, we want to. What do you mean? What? How is? Circular object. Okay. Let's just log a bunch of things then. Request dot. I can always look at the headers. Dot host. Always look at that. Context dot resolved URL. Let's look at those two things. I don't know where those get logged to. Here, I guess. Ooh. Why are we logging things? Let's not do that. Is it pulling a title for me? That's convenient. Dashboard overview. So, okay. So the first thing, that makes sense. Okay, so the first thing is like the whole, what they were trying to get to me from, and then the second is the actual path. So pretty cool. Eventually we'll make it all like nice and slugified. But for now, I think this is pretty good. Maybe not slugify. Yeah, this does look good. Maybe we can like fake upsert it with the URL. But that looks pretty good. all things considered, right? Go back, get there, go forward, go there. It's not super fast right now, I know, because it's running on my laptop. And I have Chrome open. Let's see. Cool. So we're running this on. So now we want to try. We want to generate a snippet that'll do this. So let's go back to here, and let's generate a snippet.html. Right. So we're gonna want some script that can be brought in. Now, if I recall what the intercom one looks like, it's basically they give you a code. They set a window variable to the code. They set it in one script, and then in a second script they do the injection. Not sure exactly why they do that. I'm gonna do it all at once. So we're gonna say window dot kb code equals this is a code. All right. We'll just make sure that we can access it. And making it a window thing too is gonna make it easier for debugging. One thing I've just realized before I go ahead and run start on this again is we want to change this from root in case anyone else is using it. We don't want to upsert it. Let's change it to something more specific, like KB root. That way we don't have collisions when people import this in, because we need to drop in a KB root. So first thing we need to do is we need to add in our CSS from the build. So let's go ahead and build that real quick. So we need to add in our CSS. We need to create that div, the KB root, and then we need to import the JavaScript bundle. All right, so we'll make a test.html here too. That's going to be like our body. We're going to have a h1 hello. If I go ahead and open this, that's what we got. So that's going to be our test for like importing it. So, okay. So what we need is, first thing we need to do is we need to import our CSS. So our CSS is going to look like this. I'm just going to absolute path it, or not absolute, relative path it to this test HTML, because, we don't need to run 3 web servers here to do a proof of concept. So, all right. So first thing we need to do is we need to create a new style sheet. So we're going to say the CSS let C equal to document dot create element. Was it link? And then we say C dot source. Maybe it's better. Hold on. Let me go grab the intercom one, because that's just how. Oh, you know what we also need to do? We need to do it like this. So this all runs immediately. Okay, so, and I think we can actually do it without let in front of JavaScript. Document dot create element. It's link, right? Link. Okay, and then I can just do semicolons and make this like really, really small. This is on its own line, so we can see what we're doing. But in fact, let's flex. All right. So we're going to create the element link. Then what do you need to do in a CSS? Link CSS example. Give me some, no. Import CSS file HTML. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, so I need to set that. What is it? C.relation equals style sheet, and then href equals, let's do a relative path here. Relative path to, what is it? Static CSS. Oh my god. Okay, probably not that one. Copy relative path. I think that's gonna work. Oh, cool. And then I need to go ahead and add it after. So we need to say document dot body dot append child C. Now, if this script is working, then that should be good. Let's see. Put this right under the body. Yeah, so we can go ahead and say like, okay, that should probably maybe do some stuff. I don't even know. Oh, okay, let's finish and then we'll know if it's working. So now we need to go ahead and do that KB root. Oh, hold on. I can tell you right now if it's having any issues. Network, all, CSS. It's not even trying. It's not even trying. Interesting. Okay, let's get the JavaScript in. We'll see why it's the case. What do we want to say? We want to say we need to get the div in. So we're going to say the root is equal to document.getElement create element. This is going to be a div r.id equals kb-root. Then we're going to say document.body.add append child r, right? Okay, now we can see if this is working. I also just realized I'm doing this in here. Okay, not what we want. We want to see script relationship. Okay, so it is doing it. Bug. Okay. Now we need the actual React. I liked R. All right, S for script. It was document dot create element. What is this? This is a script, right? It's a script. It's a script. Now, what does it look like? You have a lot of stuff. You have defer equals defer. Okay, I don't know what that does, but let's add it. Defer equals defer. You also have just the source. Okay. S.source equals. Let's go ahead and copy. Come on. Which one is it? Not that. Not that. Possibly that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. It's this. Copy relative path. Boom. Bang. Pow. Gotta append it. Document. Dot body. Dot append child. Append child. S. We're done. Timestamp that. What are we timestamping at? 48 minutes? 48 minutes. Let's go. All right. So now you can see that we've now got this. I can stick it anywhere. Goddamn, I could. All right. Well, we need to host the CSS and the JS. I could go stick that on some CDN. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. Basically, that gets updated. This script just pulls in the React. The React is where we can put all the logic for like pulling in a configuration before showing. That configuration will get passed down to the iframe as needed, probably just in the form of like a unique subdomain, at least to start. Based on that, they can go ahead and pull the configuration for the knowledge base, and then it renders the correct notion and it gets cached on a CDN, and then it's super fast and it gets invalidated every few minutes. The React side will just pull configuration for like what button color, what icon, what size, and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Let's go visit this. So boom, boom. All right, we can go ahead and add that resize button. Let's do that really quickly. All right. Get this guy back up. Get rid of all this. All that. Right? Okay. we're going to go ahead and add our resize button. Okay, so we're going to add another div. I'm going to need an icon. Font awesome. Let's get a resize icon. Resize. Expand. Yeah, we want these two. Okay, can I have it like copy SVG code? Oh, nice. Okay. So we want function. Should I just do this? I don't really want to make it massive though. Minimize resize down icon return that. Okay, get this out of here because it's not gonna work. And let's go get resize up. Function resize up icon. Two fastest React components you've ever seen. Boom. Okay. So let's say, let's get them out of here. Let's get them out of here. Let's say we want resize up icon by default. What's wrong with that? Does not exist on what? What do you mean? It's perfectly fine. I don't know why you're complaining. Maybe, oh, maybe you have to capitalize? Fucking React. Okay. All right. I don't even know where this is. What did we make the launcher size? I want to make it a little smaller, so maybe 10. Wow, we have a lot of these things open. Okay. Window. So H10, W10, background. Let's say, let's just make it this color for now so I can see it. 10. Where is this thing? Absolute. Bottom 0. Right 0. Where is this thing? Actually, where is it? Should be in the wind. You know what? It's not there. Hello? It should be under here. Should not be. We're running, correct? Where are you? Where are you? Also, that's unnecessary. All right. There it is. What? Okay. That's fun. Love that. What's going on up here? Oh, it's OBS. Okay. So, all right. So certainly too large. So we can set the class name here. That's not the one I should be working on. These are 5. Fantastic. Color. Oh, geez. Text slate. I think that's how it's done. Maybe background. Maybe just slate 50. How do I? Tailwind color SVG. Fill. Fill. Did that do it? That did it. That did do it. All right, let's make this dark mode. Cool. Okay, we want padding, a little bit of padding. actually don't even think we need that. Padding 3. Let's say rounded full to make it a circle. And we actually want it in the top. The top 2, right 2. Okay, and then we want to say we need some internal state now. So const maximized set maximized equals use state false, right? Okay, so we're gonna say maximized. If we're maximized, we're gonna resize down icon. Otherwise, we're gonna say it's the resize up icon, right? Cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and add this here too. We'll need to add some click handlers. What do you mean? Okay. Great. All right. So let's get that a little more. There we go. I want to get away from the scroll bar. Okay, so cursor pointer. Select none. Just, you know, standard housekeeping stuff. Hello. Cool. Okay. So now we need click handlers. Click handlers. So we probably want that like group hover thing too. So it like dims a little bit, but we're not even gonna do that. So we're gonna say on click set maximized. Hello. Set maximized, not maximized. Okay, right? Okay, so now our height, our max height that is going to be determined by whether we are maximized or not. If we're maximized, we're going to do something else. Otherwise, it's that, right? Okay, so if we're maximized, we want to make it larger. So let's do 900. 900. Let's do the width too. Maximized. Let's do that. Let's say 530. Right, okay. That looks pretty good to me. The only thing that we probably want to do is when it's when we're not shown, we want to probably want to reset the size. So maybe let's just see what that looks like. I don't even know if we can do this. Yes, we can. It was that easy. Minimize on hide. Okay, I think if let's see, does the props show even do anything to that? Yeah, it is the props.show. Okay, cool. So we're always saying that little bit of a snappy issue when it a little bit of snapping issue when you can see when we go, it's like I am large, but then I'm small, but I snap back. It's fine for now. Yeah. And then let's just do something quickly while we're doing really easy to use components. Let's get a book. What book do we like? Let's grab this one. Let's say function book icon return. Hello? That's a pro icon. Oh my god. Okay. It's just going to be like that. I guess. All right, we want a book icon, and then we want like a down arrow icon, like down arrow, down. What about just like down? I want like the caret. I'll make it myself. Here we go, chevron down. God, if that said pro, I was gonna say function chevron down, turn class in here, styling. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to put that back. Okay. So instead of active and not active, I also put this in the wrong component. This goes in launcher. We want to say book icon, and then we want to, that's the wrong one. We want to say chevron down. I want to say chevron down. Right? Okay, so now that looks good. I actually want to make this even bigger. Seven? Yeah, I think maybe even keep that smaller. That's pretty good. You have this, and you have this, and then when you do that, but if you do that, it comes back up small. That's pretty good. I think I might call it there for the first stream. I'm pretty confident with that. I'm going to get this all pushed up to GitHub. And I think where we're going to be going next is we're going to be looking at some of these other items. So let me focus left here. Left focus, yeah. Okay, so we got the resize button in. So, you know, there's all sorts of stuff we could do for animations. All this is in. So what we would need really is we would need a sort of onboarding flow that allows people to set up a project. They could copy an example Notion Knowledgebase page that they could then modify. It looks nice, or they could make their own from scratch. They give us the Notion page ID. We go ahead and create a project. Probably do the backend all in Versal functions. So that means I need a HTTP database, which means I have to use Dynamo or Firestore. We'll see. I'm thinking Firestore, honestly, even though I like Dynamo far more, just because of simplicity stuff. We need to create a site for that, where people can set that up, and that has the backend. That's also the backend where the React component that gets injected into the page will go and fetch the configuration for showing the launcher, the window, what URL it needs to show, what it needs to iframe in, and any other properties there. And then that's also where the Next.js static rendering site for the Notion pages will go and get information about I'm mapping from, say, a subdomain or a domain to a Notion page. Our site, the dashboard landing page that has the backend functions, would also need to set up some sort of subdomain stuff. Just puts another subdomain on the Notion renderer. A cheat would be to put the page as subdomain, the parent page. I don't really like that. So I guess the other cheat is like just slash. We just like, you know, all those pages are unique. So, you know, you saw that, you know, they have these page IDs and they're all unique across all of them. So as long as it's public, we're good. Create that and yeah, get their flow, manage projects. We'd want to go host that JS snippet and that CSS snippet on some CDN, or like, you know, object storage with a CDN. We'd want to get that Next.js site hosted. It's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream there. Sort of one more review of what we made was now we can go ahead and say, you know, take any arbitrary site. Let me go ahead and rebuild this again super fast and then copy it in. And we can go ahead and this is already going to be upset with me about what the IDs are. I gotta go change these build IDs. Let's see. So now static CSS. What is it? Definitely this one. Copy relative path. Boop. Get the test file back up. Yeah. And then what's it? This guy? Nope. This guy? Maybe. It's that one. Relative path. There we go. Now we can go ahead and load this guy up, I guess twice. And now we have a website, any website. We inject our little code snippet in. That's gonna give us this button. See if we omit that script, button goes away. Of course, it's bringing the tailwind styling right now. Certainly something that would need to be modified so we don't mess people's sites up. But we have the knowledge base button. I'll go ahead and left focus now again. We click that knowledge base button. We get that knowledge base rendered from Notion through our renderer. Our renderer is not actually running, but we know it looks like that. We have the change size button. I can actually make that way more substantial. I think it would be reasonable to pretty much take it all the way up to the top. Maybe there could even be 3 stages of sizes. Anyway, we close it. If we close it, it starts small again. I think another important thing is it's all going to stay on the same page. So if we're minimizing it to do some stuff and we're bringing it back up, it's there again. Maybe this, I can imagine having to make it large again is annoying. So maybe we maintain that. Maybe that's a configuration option. Pretty easy for us to do there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream there, 1 hour and 7 minutes.